Get up, my world is with my girls, living on the dance floor.
Welcome back to Leave It on the Dance Floor. On today's podcast, Rachael Sage. Yes, Rachael Sage, who is an incredible musician, singer, songwriter. You name it, she does it when it comes to music. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Rachael, for all the incredible music that you gave me to use on the television show Dance Moms.
It was my absolute pleasure. Thank you for wanting to use it.
Yes,
it all worked out.
I know, and I don't think people understand about the rights to music and to, you have to pay for these libraries, and then somebody at that network made a deal with the library, although we love them.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But, when you're choosing music, and I did so much lyrical work on the show, that I like songs that you can tell what the lyrics mean the first time you listen to it. And that's you and Barbara Streisand. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Whew.
Yes, the two
Thank
of you.
you, Abby. I think that you must have heard some of my ballet in the music itself, and that's the only thing to which I can really accredit how much we connected musically, because I went to School of American Ballet.
Yes,
and
well, tell
I
everybody
learned
that's
to play
listening.
Yes. Hello out there.
Yes, so you are a ballerina, a former ballerina.
Former ballerina, a fallen ballerina. But I've written many, many songs about my experiences in dance, which were dynamic and up and down and all around. So there was naturally, I think, a symbiosis in my material.
A sisterhood.
That's one of my favorite words.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so, I remember the very first time I was watching television, and I think it was in January, and I saw Maddie dancing to one of my songs, and my entire label staff was on vacation. They were on, Christmas vacation. There wasn't even anybody to scream and jump up and down and share it with. I was just, alone watching this program, and I think
watching this freakish reality
it
show.
Was
thinking,
wild.
What is this?
I think it was Birthday, maybe. Could that have been?
Maybe.
And I just remember being so elated because I was a fan of the show, and I was a fan of all the dancers and you, and it was literally a dream come true, and that doesn't happen often in life.
So you heard your music on Dance Moms without originally knowing about it because you worked with the library.
That's right. I had uploaded a whole bunch of my material to that library that Lifetime used and pre-cleared it, as we do sometimes. And the funniest thing is that a week before, in an Empress Records meeting, my record label, I had talked about wanting my music to be on that show so badly. And I was like, who do we have to meet? What door do we have to knock down to get my music on this show?
I'm shocked at hearing this.
Absolutely. And I was kind of jealous of other singer-songwriters who'd managed to get their music on the show. I just felt that it would be a great fit also because as a kid, I had wanted so badly to do competitions and things like that. But at School of American Ballet, as I'm sure you know, back then anyway, that was just not allowed. It was ballet or the highway.
Right,
so,
and the Nutcracker.
That's right.
And that was it, once a year, and maybe a spring performance, and that was
Exactly. So you were a student all year round with the occasional treat of being, in an adult ballet. So it was an amazing moment. I still haven't gotten over it.
Oh, gosh. Oh,
So
my gosh.
you said that the first routine that you saw was probably Birthday. That makes sense because it was the first episode of season 4. And when I was taking a look at all of the songs that you had that were on the show, it was season 4 on from there.
That's right.
That's so crazy.
Through to the end, I think, yeah.
So at that time,
Through to the end, to yesterday.
Till yesterday. Oh.
How did you decide on which songs you would like to submit? So they told you that this was for Dance Moms, or they told you that this is the library that Dance Moms uses?
No, it was just, I was generically uploading the music that I just felt was most, placeable.
Yes.
And,
for any show.
For any show.
And
any show.
it's an interesting process with what goes into that. And sometimes I've had it wrong. You know, sometimes there have been songs that I thought, oh, this will never get placed. This is too personal. This is too specific. And then I've been shocked that that's what someone would latch on to. Like the song Too Many Women that was in the remake of Fame. I never in a million years would have expected that song to be in a movie. And out of nowhere, someone heard it on iTunes, of all things, called me up. I was at South by Southwest, just, you know, doing my gig. And they were like, can you get us this song by tomorrow, just your vocals? And I had to dig out a hard drive from my basement and get it to them. So you just, you know, there's a component of mysterious excitement to it all. And you just, as you would say, you have to be prepared. You have to be ready at any time. So.
Wow, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how did the two of you meet?
You take this
Do
one
you
because I had a
remember?
lot of chemo.
It's okay. I had some too, but
Yes.
you know, I do the puzzles to keep it going.
Okay, all right. The crossword puzzles.
That's right.
Okay, maybe that's my
So
problem.
I remember like sitting on my couch at home, and I remember just thinking, okay, this is crazy. You know, you and ALTC have now used 4, 5, 6 of my songs. This isn't just happenstance. This is a very active choice that you
Right.
were embracing my
Yes.
work, and that it really just fit what you were trying to do with the show. So I sat down to write a thank you note. And, you know, all that politeness my mother grained into me
That's right,
was
a
good for
thank you
something.
note, yes.
And it was so heartfelt. You know, I edited it a few times just to make sure you didn't think it was too over the top.
Yeah.
I hit send, and then, you know, you're not doing it to hope to hear back. It's just a gesture. And so I remember being so pleasantly delighted when you wrote back, and you said something that has stuck with me. You said, in all of my time doing this, no one has ever sent me a thank you note for putting their music on the show, which shocked me, to be honest. I mean, I would just think that would be an automatic thing. So,
Rachel, no one ever sent me a thank you note for being on the show.
oh,
Are you
Abby!
kidding? Are you kidding? No one ever sent me a thank you note for now being a millionaire. Yes.
You know, it
Yes.
was bat mitzvah present training.
That's right. That's right.
And there's that funny new movie now that Adam Sandler. It's
I
fabulous.
just watched it.
Isn't it
Is
hilarious?
not? It's hilarious. It's his
I'm going to watch
kids.
it again.
They're his kids.
Adorable. Loved it.
I think it was the bat mitzvah present for Sunny to be in a movie. Like that
Okay.
was the
I
present for
wondered
her
what
to
it was
be in
all.
film. Yes,
I thought everybody was fabulous in that movie. But we digress.
that's right. Yes, yes.
But we're allowed to, you know, if you say, but we digress, you know, then you can use an accent, remind everybody we're here in New York City.
That's right. We are. But you were born and raised not very far away from the city.
That's right, about an hour out of the city in Connecticut. But I've always felt like a New Yorker because I took the train in, the Metro North to Grand Central, my very favorite building in the world. And there's just a majesty when you get off the train and you look up at the ceiling and you kind of feel like anything is possible.
And how old were you at this point
This
when you were
seems
taking
very
the train?
It seems questionable now because I think what parent in their right mind would let an 11-year-old take a train into New York City to go to their class at School of American Ballet? But I was in 6th and 7th, 8th grade. So
You did it.
I hopped the train. I
Well,
came
hey.
to New York. I took the bus. I got to class.
I was on Long Island, and there were 11-year-olds taking a ferry across to the island to hang out with their friends and get in all kind of trouble at 11. So you were doing something good and positive and
It's a
educational.
different time. It was.
They were just hanging out, but this was yesterday. So
Oh, I
this was
see.
last weekend.
But
so
you
they
did
were,
Oh,
love
wow.
Long Island, Abby.
Yeah, well,
My dad's from Long Island.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm from Long Island too.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good place to grow up. I have a similar experience with the train, but my stop is Penn Station, which isn't necessarily as grand as Grand Central Station, but it's okay.
It's not bad. It's gotten better.
It's
a
gotten
little
better.
bit.
The construction's finally finished, so Madison Square Garden is beautiful, but Grand Central is definitely more beautiful.
Absolutely.
So-
that's by the Hyatt, right?
Yes.
The Hyatt Hotel?
I used to use the Hyatt ladies' room because, you know, it's a little nicer.
Yes, yes.
You have to learn these tricks of the trade.
I used to go to a big dance convention at the Hyatt, and then there was another one at the Waldorf Astoria, and they overlapped. So you could jump in a taxi and get it from the Hyatt to the Waldorf. But coming back, the street was one way, the wrong way. So you had to run back the 6 blocks or whatever, yes.
New York makes
over
you
and
work
over.
for it.
Yes, yes. Okay, so you send me a thank you note. I send
did.
you an email back saying, this is the first thank you note.
You did. And you also, very quickly after that, suggested that we should collaborate in another way, maybe do a video or a project together. And then that turned into me being on the show.
There we go.
So, yeah.
All right, so tell us how it happened, what happened. Take our listeners, our viewers through dealing with the production company. They were probably good with
I'm
you.
a very positive person, so I don't, speak ill of anyone. I'd make a terrible reality show for that reason.
All right, so
but
go ahead.
I had a great time. I remember they reached out to me, and you were copied on everything and making sure it all went just so.
Because I didn't want them to screw up your
That's
life.
right.
That's why. That's why.
You were definitely overseeing it all and making
Okay,
sure, we got there, we connected with the team. I remember waiting in our car, like in the parking lot, and they were like, don't come in yet. When you come in, act like this, that, and the other.
Now, this is in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh, yes. And I remember when we pulled up to the ADLC building, ALDC, that I was just so amazed. I'm like, this is really the same building like on television. It's the same logo. It's the same parking lot. Like, it was exciting. And I also remember, we drove that day from New York, so we stopped at a hotel on the way just to primp a little bit because we felt like so schlumpy and disheveled from the drive. And that was fun. Like that, everything about that day was very special to me because I was a fan, and that's the best thing. If you can go to work any day of the year and you get to participate, in something of which you've already been a huge fan.
Right.
And to meet these young women who were just so inspiring to me, and each one, I love their dancing, I love their personalities. So, I don't know, I felt like I was meeting like the lyrical dance Beatles.
Oh, gosh.
And their manager.
That's wonderful. Yay, thank you. Yes.
So, yeah, and I remember, I didn't bring a keyboard for whatever reason. I was very literal back then. Now I am better trained by you to always be prepared for any situation. But I just thought, well, how likely is it that they're going to break out of what's going on for this show to ask me to play
your ballet
keyboard?
teachers in your dance classes would not have done that.
That's true.
Oh my goodness, when I used to have to go into a ballet class
Mm-hmm.
and interrupt the ballet teacher to say, Bernie tells you casting is on the phone and they need a 12-year-old that does a left side aerial. You didn't want to walk in that room because the ballet teacher was going to send daggers to you.
Oh, absolutely. So I just remember you saying, sweetheart, do you have an instrument? And I was like, oh gosh, I have one in the trunk of our car. So I ran out and I got it, and then you had me play a little of Happiness. And Maddie danced to it, and it was just a very exciting day. So
what was
indelibly etched.
when you were on the show? Did we use your music that episode?
Yes, you used. I was bringing the song Happiness
To me.
To you and
to Maddie.
Yes, and I remember Gianna played the MP3 like from the sound system, and it was all just happening live, and it was very real. And watching her perform these steps that she'd obviously prepared before the show, it was amazing. I got chills.
Rachel, I have to ask, was that routine or that song rather really inspired by Maddie? Or was that?
Yes.
Okay, it was, or it wasn't
I
just...
actually wrote a whole piece on this. It's on my website under my writing section to explain it, because it was an amazing thing to have Maddie dance to, I think by then it was 4 or 5 routines she had done. And every time I just, to use a New Yorkese word, I got verklempt. I really did. I mean, I cried because I've told Abby this too, she may not remember because of the chemo, but many years ago when I attended SAB, there was a young woman who was an absolute prodigy and around the same age that Maddie was. And maybe one of the best young dancers I'd ever seen in my life. And every day, you felt honored to kind of be in class with her. And nobody was mean to her. Nobody was jealous. Nobody picked on her because we really were in the presence of greatness.
Yes.
And she was just blessed, you know. But I don't even know if it came from her. It was like from God.
Okay.
Like 9, 10 years old, dancing like a 40-year-old. She was amazing. And at one point, she was diagnosed with cancer. And it was explained to us that she wouldn't be able to dance anymore. She was going to the hospital. And this was an experience I had at such a young age, to encounter this prodigy and to realize, you know, how special it was that we got to see her, that we got to enjoy her. And I've always kept a little part of her with me. So I saw that in Maddie, and I saw someone kind of beyond her years, not just in her technique, which was impeccable, but in terms of her soulfulness and her musicality.
Yes, the timing and yes.
And that's what I had remembered in that young girl, Julie. So that's what I was thinking about when I went to record Happiness with my co-producer, Andy Zula. And we made a point to flesh out the arrangement in a very orchestral way, with strings and sparkling piano and like just a little bit more reverb, and to just have it kind of sound sonically like how I thought her personality came across. So that's the
like
story.
A merging of Julia.
Yes, Julie.
Julie, sorry. A merging of Julie and Maddie.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's what you saw in your mind and you remembered. And that's what came to be. It was happiness.
Yeah, and I love the dance. It's so beautiful. So.
And it's so funny because our listeners, our ALDC elites, can actually
That's
watch.
what we call them.
Aw.
Yeah, they can actually watch the routine that Abby filmed from her audience view, because we have that
wow.
from her phone. So it's on Patreon, on YouTube Premium. Yeah. So because,
Very
you know,
cool.
obviously just they edit things so differently.
Right.
On the TV screen. I feel like, did you get to go that week? It was season 4, episode 25.
I never went to a competition.
You didn't get to go to a
No.
competition?
Honestly, I've never been to a competition.
Ever.
So if you ever want me to be your date at a
Okay,
competition,
okay,
you let me
dance
know.
competition? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, Scarlett's here. Maybe in a competition. that
Yes.
She performs or
Sure.
something. Yeah.
So when you came to the studio, production,
Yes.
everybody was sweet and nice to you.
Everybody was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't remember anything too egregious.
Okay.
I do remember. I hope I'm allowed to say this.
Oh, you're allowed to say whatever you
are
want
such a
here.
perfectionist, and I, knew that was the case. I do remember you being slightly disappointed that there were only 2 cameras versus 3 for a particular moment. And I remember that being highlighted. So
Oh, me saying,
that stuck
stop,
with me.
get another camera in here.
That's right.
Oh, wow. See, I was directing.
You were directing. Yeah.
Oh my, that's funny.
But
And what about the moms? How were the moms with you?
the moms were very nice to me. I know you're looking for a little schmutz,
no,
a little
no,
dirt,
no,
Abby.
no. We leave it all on the dance
I
floor.
think
It's fine.
I'm
You
a
were
hippie.
special guest.
I put out that energy. I genuinely, when I walk into a room, because I was bullied as a child, I was. So I kind of carry that with me, where I survey the terrain and I try to really take in every person and acknowledge them. And, obviously when they edit things, it's a little bit different. But that day, I do remember having an opportunity, for which I was very grateful, to talk to each girl. And actually JoJo, who I hadn't ever really honed in on that much because
Right,
she was
right.
kind of new on the show.
Yes.
She was just off the chart, adorable and hilarious, and like a personality queen. And I remember being in the dressing room with all the costumes, and it was so cute. She ran up to me, and I think she might have had that song Boomerang like already on her phone. Is that possible?
So this must have been a different time then.
No.
This was,
She
because she
was
wasn't
l-
at the studio yet, JoJo.
No, she was there.
She
when
was
you came.
there, and she came up to me. She
wanted you to
wanted
hear
me
her
to
song.
hear it. And I felt so honored and important that she was like, please, can you listen to my demo? Like, it's right here on my phone. And she was like playing it, and my tour manager, Meredith, and I were just enchanted. We just thought she was fabulous. So,
That's so-
she is fabulous.
She is fabulous.
That song,
The definition.
you should have
yes.
told her, scrap it, it's not going to
No.
work. No, but seriously, a lot of people heard it.
They sure
You
did.
were the first of many.
I
Yes,
guess
the
so.
first of many.
So I think very quickly, I think I should just rattle off some of the songs that our listeners might be not surprised that Rachel's responsible
No,
for.
I want to say something funny though.
Yeah, you
Okay.
go for it.
Rachel, I always walk into a room like that too. I want to engage
I
each
know.
person.
I've seen
I
you
come
teach in
positively.
person.
I'm
Yep.
exciting. It's fun. You know, those mothers just have another thought process. There we go. There we go. Leave it on the dance floor.
Absolutely.
Enough said.
So, for those of you who just obviously know, it's crazy because the fans really know the music. Like, especially my sister and I would watch all the time, and whenever we do, it's just we know the music so well. So it's funny because I don't think a lot of people realize how many songs you're actually responsible for.
It was a lot of songs.
Yeah,
There we go.
I'm gonna just kind of rattle some off, and if there's any that you guys like, maybe we can just stop and discuss.
Well, we like them all, but
Aw.
maybe there's
They're
a
all my
story.
children.
Yes. So in season order, we had a duet with Maddie and Chloe, Confessions. Vertigo was a solo that Maddie did in season 5. Down My Spine, Maddie did.
That's one of my favorites.
That's one of your
Yeah.
favorites.
What was that? Was that?
I
Did
remember
they
the
have
costume.
numbers on their backs? No.
I think it was just her.
It was
and,
just her.
And she
okay.
had a costume with like rhinestones or something down her spine to mark that, to underscore that title. It was beautiful.
Then Swan Solstice with Kalani.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful
That was
number.
beautiful.
Obviously, Birthday, which is, I think, one of my favorite solos.
Well, I'm
ever.
still seeing kids do that solo
Wow.
at competition. Other people's students are using Birthday, your music, and they are doing similar dance. Yes.
Yeah, my
Love it.
favorite part is when you do like the wish on the candle part in that routine. Yeah, I know it's not that special, but it just makes the number, birthday. So I just
It
love
is
that.
special.
Yes, it's definitely special, and obviously happiness that we discussed. Cameron from the Select team that you loved did a song called Fate. That was
I loved Cameron. I thought she was fantastic.
She was.
Yeah.
And that, there was a step where she fell backwards. And I reminded her about that every time she was doing the routine. And every time she marked that step, I said, you have to do it. You're going to fall. You're running backwards too quickly. You're going to fall. You're going to fall. You're going to fall. She fell.
Well, I'm curious.
You know.
Do you think, Abby, that she didn't stay on the show because of her mother not being like dramatic enough?
Yeah, I think she
Interesting
had some
question.
other opportunities.
Oh.
She wanted to be on one of these competitions, like group of kids that travel with them, I believe,
Okay.
was the situation. And yeah, and the mother gave us nothing. The mom had Cameron was the youngest child, and she had many older daughters that danced. So she'd been through it all, and she knew,
was
we're
sorta
not
jaded.
losing sleep over this. Like
Okay.
it's all going to
Well,
go
that's
away.
not good for television.
No, it's not good for television. So yeah, she didn't make good TV.
Well, Cameron, if you're listening, you are welcome to come on. Leave it on the dance floor.
Yes, tell us about it. Her mom was a nice lady.
Yes.
Not too long ago, I was in the hospital fighting for my life, fighting a very rare form of cancer, Burkitt lymphoma, choking my spinal cord, knocking at death's door, and having to go through 10 very invasive rounds of chemotherapy. I never thought I'd be able to stand on my own 2 feet again, let alone teach dance. It wasn't until Dancers Against Cancer visited me during my recovery to help in my time of need that I realized their incredible mission. They have created an alliance in the dance community that provides financial support and inspiration to dance educators, choreographers, studio owners, dancers, and their families who have been impacted by cancer. The I'm a Dancer Against Cancer campaign was founded in 2012 in response to the loss of a young dancer from cancer. Since then, it has become a beacon of hope in the dance community, uniting dancers all over the nation. Join the fight against cancer and help make a difference with the dance community. For more information on how to get involved and make a one-time or even monthly donation, please visit I'mADancerAgainstCancer.org/donate. Again, please Get involved and make a difference within the dance community. Visit I'mADancerAgainstCancer.org/donate.
So to keep going, the coronation with Bryn.
Right.
Beautiful.
Oh, that
beautiful
was beautiful.
Number. An iconic Maddie solo, All God's Creatures.
That may be my
That's-
favorite.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the one for
that
me.
is the
Yeah.
one, and just the costume, that is.
And
When
the,
she was
the
dirty,
social
right?
social
Yes.
issue
Yes.
that it was about homelessness. I
In
think,
children.
right?
Yes.
Right.
Well, I know in California, the average age of a homeless child is 9 years old.
What?
Well, let me reverse it. I know in California, the average age of a homeless person is 9 years old. And people just forget about that. They forget that these are children.
And Abby, obviously, we work. We always talk about Katarina's Club. We
Yes.
always mention them every other week on the show.
Katarina's Club is an organization that I'm involved with that feeds hungry children, children that are living in hotels because the parents have jobs. They don't have first month's rent, last month's rent, the security deposit, but they are working class people. They go to work every day, but these kids, it takes $5. Anybody listening, watching, $5 to feed a family of 4, and he is feeding kids every single day. Has not
That's
missed a
amazing.
day in California. Yes.
My goodness.
And just to keep naming a couple more, Playing with Matches, a group dance that is.
I like that routine a lot.
Such a
Yeah, sitting
beautiful-
around and someone's gonna get
And
burned.
what's so interesting is I feel like it wasn't really shown on the show as much as it should have. The makeup that you had, the prosthetics on the arms
Yes.
of the burns and
Oh,
everything.
wow.
Yeah, that
Now
was Diana.
Diana
all
did that.
Yeah.
Okay. And for
You can't see it on TV, but
No, I
it
don't
was
think I saw
really that. Kids do that though. Kids, you hear
Oh,
about. I'm
gosh.
sure you hear on the
I don't
news.
trust myself with fire. I don't light my own fireplace because I know I'm a little ADD, a little flaky.
Okay, we have that. We have that in common.
Yeah,
Because I am
so-
afraid of fire.
Yeah, the only
Definitely
time I
afraid.
light the candles is on Hanukkah and then I blow them out.
Yeah, I mean, it just scares me to death, and I can't light a match at all. So I have to use one of those like wands for your
feel
grill.
ya.
Yes,
That's okay.
And but you hear on the news every winter if a house burned down, these kids
Mm-hmm.
were playing with matches, or they lit a fireplace, or they were freezing, they were cold,
Yeah.
they lit candles, they fell
And
asleep.
sometimes it's just because, people haven't paid attention and put new batteries in their alarm or something. So.
Yes.
or just with climate, obviously what happened in Hawaii.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Horrific,
It's horrific. I definitely want to see if there's any ways that we can try to help get our listeners involved with that to help maybe.
I posted something on my Instagram with a whole bunch of organizations, local organizations that
For sure.
friends I know who've lived in Hawaii recommended.
Great.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay,
That's
so you have
wonderful.
friends
So
there.
let's
Out,
check
yeah.
that out.
Yes, we'll definitely try to place that in the notes, maybe if anybody would be able to help. And for this routine, Playing with Matches, there's some pictures that Abby has on her phone that nobody has seen. So, not to throw, push
My
Patreon
phone
again.
is the gold
but
mine.
yeah.
Better back that up.
Yes, yes. It is backed up.
Okay.
Thank goodness,
Yes.
yes.
The only years that aren't backed up are the hot guy years.
Oh
You turn
no.
the iCloud off. I know.
That's terrible.
I know. I want to
It's
kill
the
him for
saddest
that.
story ever.
I know.
But so if people want to check out some unseen pictures, you can go to patreon.com/therealabbylee. Then we had Someone Special by Maddie.
Right, that was a different title than the song.
Really?
Oh,
Okay,
let's
tell us
clear
more
that
about
up
that.
I'm
right
trying
now.
to remember which song that was. Can you remind me what the routine was like? And I
Let's
might
take a
remember. Okay.
Let's take
So-
a
and
Something
I,
special.
I always liked when the routines were titled something different because it kind of gave me a second lease on like, ooh, I could have titled the song that instead. That's a good title also.
Oh, really? I always, when I enter kid in competition, I want the title to go with the dance
Of
so the
course,
judges get
yeah.
it.
Makes perfect
Where
sense.
sometimes I choose music, in the real world.
Right. I can be a little esoteric, I know. So
No, but you know what I mean. It's like, I need this
Mm-hmm.
to work.
Well, with your permission, can we play it
Yes.
on the microphone?
Oh my goodness, sure.
Great. Okay.
Oh, yes. Newspaper is what the song is called.
Okay.
That is absolutely one of my favorite routines.
And do we love that dress?
Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
That's
It looks
from-
like a gunny sack dress from that era.
Yes, but it.
Is that what it is?
No, it's not Gunny Sacks, but
Okay,
it's so
it
funny
looks
that
like
you said
that.
that. No, I found it in, I'm going to say a Ross or maybe
Okay.
Dillard's or something, but
looks
I
Americana.
love the way it
Yes.
turned.
It's beautiful with the lace.
And the way it turns at the bottom, I mean, you know, I had to twirl that hanger around several times to make sure.
Everything works. It's beautiful. The hair, just everything, every detail. And
Thank
that's
you.
an important song for me because I wrote it about the first boy I kissed.
Ooh.
I don't know, I think I was 11. And that line about him being in the police blotter was actually a play on, he wasn't. The boy I liked, of course, wasn't. He was very wholesome. But his older brother was a bit naughty and ended up in the local police blotter. So, you know, and you take that creative license.
Yes, yes.
And the other thing that's interesting about that particular...
Well, you
oh,
don't want him to know it's all about him either. So
That's
maybe he
right.
thought you kissed his brother.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's, you know, sometimes songs come from pure inspiration, and sometimes, just like with class or rehearsal, it's a song prompt. Like I was actually assigned that title to write a song about in a session at Folk Alliance Conference, which is a songwriting camp basically for adults. And every single person had to write a song called Newspaper.
Really?
So the first thing that came to mind was, oh, my ex-boyfriend's brother who was in the newspaper for being bad. So that's where that song came from.
Interesting. Oh,
And
I
I-
said that. Jinx, show me a drink.
Jinx.
Interesting.
And we were just talking about Down My Spine, and we didn't really remember it, so I would
Yeah.
like to play that one too, really quick.
Beautiful dance.
All of them. And then that Swan Solstice. Beautiful. Kalani was just
She had
so
the best
good.
technique.
Yes.
Amazing.
So beautiful.
So just to keep going down, unless is there?
I
would you
no,
like
but
to
I
digress?
think I wanted to say on the children's behalf, you know, I think when they got that Rachael Sage song, it was like, I'm gonna win.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Because they knew that the song had beautiful lyrics. It was elegant. It was feminine, and it was the best portrayal of their lyrical or contemporary work. You know, like what I could put to it, what we could put to your words made sense for them dance wise. And
Thank you so much.
Yes, it was like, oh, I got a Rachael Sage song. I'm
Oh,
gonna
that
win.
means so much to me. And I loved every single dance. And there were a few group dances as well. I think
Yes,
Frost, which you may be getting.
Yeah, we're gonna
I've
get to it.
used
Love that dance.
so many
Yeah.
times. But
Beautiful.
you know, I used that in real life.
You told me that before the show existed,
Before the
you used
show,
it.
we used Frost. Before
Really?
the show.
I didn't
before
know.
a TV
We
show.
have
That
to
was
try
in
to
your
find
email
that.
reply
all the
when I wrote you the
good,
thank
all
you
the
note.
good dances we did before a show. Wake
Yes.
up, people.
Well, obviously the fans know, but just to give it some extra attention, All God's Creatures. Just one
Yes,
moment.
that was the homeless.
Oh, nope, that's Playing with Matches. So good. Then this is Playing with Matches. How great is this that we have the artist right here so we can play all of these?
It's great to see these again.
Then this is Someone Special, which
Yeah,
we
I love
spoke
that
about.
costume.
But then here's Frost. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then
Sad song.
Don't Fence Me In.
Yes.
Oh, that fence.
That's one of the only songs that was
A prop.
guitar based
Oh,
that
okay.
was used, which is interesting because there is something about the piano that connotes lyricism,
Yes,
of course,
yes.
and it's the reduction of an orchestra. Any orchestral piece can also be played on piano or rehearsed on piano. Acoustic guitar tends to take you out of that and into more contemporary or folk. So I was delighted when a guitar song was used. I thought, okay, something different.
And
But I wanted the kids to like climb up that piano, or
The-
I
that
wanted the
fence.
kids to grab onto that fence and yank it and climb up it and do this and do that. And it was crap, and it was going to fall right over on them. And I remember we were in LA at that point in a studio that was not mine yet before I had opened, and they couldn't do anything on it. It was so dangerous. They couldn't touch it, or that could have been another like iconic routine because
Well, I think
pretty
it's
iconic.
still.
it is, but we could have done
This
some
is
cool
what makes
stuff.
you, that you
Yeah.
always,
We had
you're
to deal with
striving,
it.
even in hindsight,
I
you're
know,
striving.
I'm striving.
And listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it obviously won first. Rachel, you said that
sure
Frost.
they'll correct us.
You said that Frost was a sad song. Can you talk a little bit more about what Frost was? Because I know that it's at least one of my favorites, and a bunch of other people that watch love that song.
Maybe that was a little reductive. You know, no song is either sad or happy. There are these nuances, or I wouldn't have had to sing 3 or 4 verses and have it be the longest song I've ever written.
That was the longest
but
song.
It's pretty long, but of course you used a beautiful edit. I know Gianna was helpful with the editing.
Yes.
I was always amazed by her edits. I was like, that's how I should have written the song. It didn't need to go on and on and on. I was being pretty indulgent. But yeah, it's basically about adultery, but as a metaphor, not necessarily literally cheating on someone, but you're crossing a line, you're doing something you know isn't your highest self, your most ethical self. And we, you know, even as little kids, we do this, or you tell a lie and you know it's wrong. And you have all these feelings of guilt and remorse and regret, and it's kind of navigating all of that. And it's a loss of innocence, basically, is what the song is about.
Okay.
Beautiful. And I'm sorry, I just
And
want
I
to.
had the white costumes with the snowflakes and the glitter,
Well,
thinking
and-
it was about Frost.
And that week,
But that's what I love. Because think about, from a songwriter's perspective, that's magic. That's like if your song gets in a movie and it elevates a scene and suddenly
Yes.
it's about something else. And that's, honestly, it's my favorite thing.
Okay.
so it actually makes sense, Abby, that you said that you did the number before, because I remember Kelly had left that week because that's after the altercation happened, and
Okay.
she had costumes from it that you did in the past. I don't know if it was with her or you had given the costumes maybe at the beginning of the season, but I remember she didn't give them back. So
Oh,
you guys
no.
had to. Well, you know, at that point there was a lot of legal stuff. So you know,
Right.
but so then you guys had to kind of scavenge, and you know,
Yeah.
everybody's costumes
The
were a
word
little bit different.
Gave them to
And
her.
you know, to
She didn't
backtrack,
buy them.
it is
Oh,
still
okay.
about Frost.
It is.
Because
Okay,
it's
it's the-
about being iced out of a relationship,
Iced
so
out.
to speak.
Okay.
You know,
Gotcha.
some relationships can't be repaired, sadly. That's why I said it's a sad
Yes.
song.
Yes.
But then, funny that the week before Frost was Purple Rain with Brooke.
Oh, that's fun.
This was actually Brooke's last number on Dance Mom.
She was so flexible. She had like no bones in her back. Amazing.
Then the first day, which was
Who is that?
new Chloe. I don't remember her last name, unfortunately. She was one of the first kids
Oh.
you brought in. on
Performance
season
art. Is that what this is? Yeah.
4. Am
But
I
that was
Enough?
called something different.
That's right.
Performance art.
Am I Enough with Eliana.
Oh, Eliana.
She's so tiny. Season 7.
So precious.
She bought a house herself.
Then
Good for her.
Unbeauty.
I can't see who that is. Remind
This
me.
is
Kalani.
Kalani.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I mean, you title a song for her on Beauty.
Of course.
Like she's so gorgeous,
I
and
know.
this is perfect for her.
And just that was the last ones that we found. And I just want to say, because we got this mashup from the Dance Moms Team 411. So thank you for your rating of Rachel
Yes,
Sage's
thank
songs.
you.
The Dance Moms Team 411.
Yes.
There they are.
Trip through memory lane. That was amazing.
They probably weren't even born when these
Oh, my
songs
goodness.
were,
That's
were
probably
on the
true.
show, you
And
know?
there, I believe there probably were a couple songs in there that weren't there. That
That's
you
okay.
Did you say before that you did Wishbone as well? Or
I
is
don't
that,
remember.
Because I remember.
It seems like something you would have used, but I'm not quite
Because there
sure.
was a Wishbone number that Paige
Queen?
and Chloe did.
Isn't that her? Yeah, that's it.
That's, yes,
That's
absolutely.
that was the
Yep.
when all hell broke loose. I just used it recently.
Good.
You want to do a little bit?
Sure, I can show her the video.
Oh, lazy.
Oh,
Well, we'll input it maybe in the episode.
Yes, let's. Do
But-
we have a video of you
Wonderful.
doing it? Okay, yes.
Great. So
yes,
Scarlett, if you want, just send me that, and then the elites can see it.
yes. It's pretty.
But so, Rachel, do you have a favorite? Other than, I guess you said All God's Creatures, right? Would probably be your favorite. That was from the show?
I think All God's Creatures is my favorite choreography, my favorite routine, because it has a depth to it that I think also showed us Maddie's, spirit, and it was kind of a precursor to her more adult emotions that we saw later, and I just love it. I think it stood the test of time. It's sadly as relevant as ever. I just did a tour in the UK in support of an organization called AKT, which benefits LGBTQ plus homeless youth. And the statistics on how many kids, young kids are kicked out of their homes for just being who they are is staggering and just horrible. So, I think we share that bond that we always want to try to help raise awareness through our art.
Definitely.
About these issues.
There's Lily Tomlin has a school home place in
love
Los Angeles for children who are evicted from their homes or their parents don't speak to them anymore. They're thrown out. And there's a lot of arts initiatives that go on there. I went to, the reason I know about it is I went to see a show that Jane Fonda did, a talk that she gave,
wow.
and it was there. And it was a fundraiser with, thousands of dollars of tickets to
'Cause they're
raise
besties.
Yeah, to raise money for this organization that she has. And it is
Wonderful.
so sad. And we crossed paths in the UK before.
Yes.
Well,
and Ireland.
In Ireland. And she just came back. Rachel just came back from the UK. I'm going to the UK next month.
Ships in the night.
11 cities.
Wow, that's fantastic.
How many cities did you just do?
Something like that.
Oh, man.
12,
I know.
13, yeah.
Like Huddersfield and
I loved it there.
and Birmingham and Manchester and all those great
Manchester.
places. So if you're listening, I will be there in the UK. Now, let's talk about a great night. This is a night that will go down in history as one of my best memories, just of traveling, of living life
Yes.
away from the show, after the show. But I believe the kids were with me.
Yeah, most of the kids were with you.
And that's what's
much
strange
fun.
and people don't understand is it was so toxic, it was so horrible, I was so hateful. But yet again, the minute we had a week off, they were with me.
it was
going
it was a
somewhere.
beautiful day, beautiful night.
Beautiful evening. So why don't you tell our
Sure.
listeners?
I can't remember the exact town, but you were doing a workshop with local kids.
Wherever there was a castle
It
in
was
Ireland,
just
somewhere.
fabulous. So you taught and you gave of yourself to these wonderful students.
Were you there?
I
Did
was
you come to
there.
the class?
And
Oh.
Meredith, my tour manager,
Yes.
came. I think my violinist Kelly also was
Kelly
with
was
me.
there.
We were on tour.
Kelly was there.
Kelly Halloran and
Hi, Kelly.
we
Shout
had,
out.
hello, Kels. We had the best time watching you teach, and it was so much fun. And the kids were just elated to meet you, and they wanted your autographs. They wanted all the girls' autographs, and you were very generous. You gave so much direction and so much time to each student, and I just remember that was wrapping up, and then it was just super cash. You were like, we're gonna go to dinner. We're gonna go to dinner in the basement of a castle, something like that.
A pub.
They're like follow us. So we get in our tour van and we
They
followed
followed us.
you
That's
where
what
you
you do,
were,
right?
And it was just fantastic. It was a beautiful meal. We were in this kind of basement of this ancient building,
With
and it
Block walls like a castle.
it really
I
was
mean,
stone walls, and it was probably really, really old. And I don't even remember what period it was from, but they presented the meal as though you were eating in a castle, and the menu was just fantastic. And everybody was just laughing nonstop the
Eating,
whole night,
drinking. It was just
singing.
fun.
I think I sang a few songs at the end at your
we're getting
insistence.
to this. We're getting to this. So then we're like, Rachel, come on, let's go.
She
Where's the-"
demanded I serenade.
And Kelly got the violin.
She did,
And
yeah.
you had a keyboard or guitar.
I brought
or
the guitar.
Guitar.
Yeah.
And we played. And she was the entertainment in this Irish
Wow.
pub
It was
in
fun.
Ireland. And didn't
And the
make any
girls
money.
were like doing little mini versions
Yes.
of the songs, like
Did I
at
have
the
a
table.
hot guy with me?
You definitely did.
All right.
Yes.
I remember. Yes.
These
See,
are the
there's
things
proof.
we remember.
There's proof.
Absolutely. Happy to be your
We
proof.
didn't have the pictures,
And
but we have the proof.
You did that song, Proof, on the show. That's when we left out.
Oh.
I don't remember what the routine was called.
They
but
probably
it was a
changed
song
it.
called Proof, yes.
Oh my goodness. ALDC Elites, if you find it,
Proof.
let us know.
What is the other title? The title
Yes.
that we named the song for the competition. Find it. Let us know.
Good trivia question.
Write in.
It's nice though that they didn't change that many titles, and they
No.
were able to make
Yeah.
it super easy for the fans to find your music.
That was probably me. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also
It had to work
By
with the
season
concept.
4,
Yeah.
nobody was changing a title if I didn't say it was changed.
Good.
They weren't crossing the line on that. On the politics and the craziness and the fighting, yes, but not on something like that. No, they wouldn't do that. No. I've been teaching dance for years, starting in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then with the success of the television show Dance Moms and Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, I've had the pleasure of traveling outside the U.S. to work with students from across the globe. As much as I get to travel, there are so many places I can't make it to in a year. It wasn't until the world shut down and Zoom became our new normal that I realized how easily I could connect with you all over the world. Every weekend, I teach a virtual technique class. There are students who join from Israel, the Philippines, Australia, England, Ireland, Scotland, Finland, you name it. I teach my legs and feet curriculum, flexibility, a fabulous warm-up that you can use every day, and answer your questions on how to impress those judges at your next competition. Now I'm working hard to get to your country in person between filming, but get a head start on your training and join our ALDC WW Zoom classes. Registration is available every week at aldcworldwidelive.com. Again, that's aldcworldwidelive.com. Get a leg up on your competition this season, and I'll see you on Zoom.
So, Rachel, you are going to potentially, if it's okay, be our first musical performance
Wow.
on Leave It on the
Gonna
Dance Floor.
sing right into this mic?
Yes.
Am I grabbing my
Yeah,
guitar?
you can grab your
Would you
guitar.
please?
The
Well,
only reason I have bad posture momentarily is to reach down and grab my
Yeah.
guitar.
No,
And
are you
then-
kidding? Look at mine since the spinal cord surgery. It's so bad.
Usually we play in chairs without arms, so I'm
Yes.
just going to lean forward a little bit. Hello, everyone. This is a song from my new album, The Other Side, that came out a few weeks ago. And it's about boundaries.
I feel like Jimmy Fallon.
And Vanna White.
yes.
The reason I'm picking this one is because in my mind's eye, I have a fantasy that there will be a lyrical dance to this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You look me up and down, you tell me like it is. You're not afraid to cry and you're not afraid to kiss. You look me up and down, you tell me what you want. You're not afraid to charm and you're not afraid to flaunt. But in the middle of the night I can hear your voice singing, don't look back, you have a choice. In the middle of the night I can hear that whistle blown loud. You have to imagine the violin. The definition stands, the hero is a man. He lifts you from the fire, pulls you from the quicksand. The definition stands, the woman is a heart. And learning to be heard is a Herculean art. But in the middle of the night I can hear your voice singing, don't look back, you have a choice. In the middle of the night, I can hear that whistle blow loud. You look me up and down, you tell me like it is. You're not afraid to cry, and you're not afraid to kiss. But in the middle of the night, I can hear your voice singing, don't look back, you have a choice. In the middle of the night, I can hear that whistle blow loud.
Woohoo! All right, clap.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
Thank you.
clap.
That was a radio edit. You know.
Well, it sounded like it was on the that you.
Oh, I just mean I shortened it a little bit because
No, well,
we don't
yes.
have the luxury of Kelly playing her beautiful
No,
violin solo.
But I mean, I just think that everybody realizes that these days people are so reliant on tracks, and you are you're a prime example of why people should sing live, because
Yes.
that was so special.
Oh, you should
Thank
see her
you.
in a club.
Oh, I bet.
I have fun with it. I have
Yes.
a great band, so
Yeah, well,
you know, I
don't
love
sell
to-
yourself short. They're wonderful, but she is just this spirit that just sucks you in, and there's not another sound. You don't hear like the barmaid dropping the glasses, and you don't hear the bartender,
Yeah.
you know, running the credit card machine. You don't hear any of it. You just hear her. It's just
Oh, what a wonderful
yes.
compliment. Thank you,
Yes.
Abby. I was just having a memory of the hilarious moment when you came to see me in LA
Yes.
at Hotel Cafe. And she was just right smack in the front, so supportive. And I was just so honored to have you there. But I also remember we had a little shtick that the audience laughed at because I wear a lot of different jackets in my shows. I like to change costumes. And I just treat the venue, the floor, like it's my bedroom. I just take it off, I throw it on the floor, I go on to the next song, I put on a new thing. You're like, Rachel, this is not your room. Pick up your clothes. And everybody laughed. I just, you know, we've got some shtick.
Yes.
I bet. Is there any other songs that maybe you could perform? And that was from your new album.
That was from my new album. I should look at it and see what else I got. Do you want a happy peppy or do you want a mellifluous gentle? I'm going to let you pick.
Mellifluous.
Mellifluous, of course. Lyrical, always. Let's see.
I was choreographing when you started playing the last song. You didn't see me? I was looked me up and down. I had it. I was
Let me
doing
look
it.
at the back of the CD and see if most of these songs are piano based, so that won't work. But I'm gonna can I just do a little snippet?
Yes.
of the
Yes,
title
of
track?
course. You can do whatever you want. This is Leave It on the Dance Floor.
In time, I will make love mine. I will subvert shame and all indecision. You say you are impatient, like a sick patient from doubt's deep incision. I've been in the garden of evil and good, hoping you would find me in the underwood. My future was a fire I could not breathe, burning like a soldier's grief. Meet me in the valley of eventually. I'll be on the bank like a walnut tree. I hope you will be with me on the other side of this. The other side of this is an angel's kiss, pure in intention and no expectation. I see your delicate beauty, and I have no need to own or possess it. I've been in the garden of evil and good, hoping you would find me in the underwood. My future was a fire I could not breathe, burning like a soldier's grief. Meet me in the valley of eventually. be on the bank by the walnut tree. Hope you will be with me on the other side of this. The other side of this. I never played that on guitar. I didn't know what would
Wow.
happen, but for you, I take a risk.
I think we know what that's about.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Rachel and I have both been through our cancer dealings. Yes, our
Cancer experience.
cancer experience.
Yes.
Scared to death, relieved, sad,
Grateful.
grateful, happy, ecstatic, and horrified. All that mix of emotions, that
Yeah.
roller coaster that we go through.
And we keep
Yes.
that with us. You know, every
Yes.
year we have our tests. You might have more than I do, probably.
Yeah.
And I know
I'm
that,
at like every 4 months.
wow.
Yeah.
I was having them every 6, and now I'm having once a year. So that's progress.
Yes, that's progress.
And my father also went through lymphoma last year, but he is now in remission.
Oh,
so
yay.
it's a great
Shout
story.
out.
He's staying in shape by playing ping pong every day. It's
Oh,
the
really? Ping
cutest
pong?
thing. Yes.
Not to be confused with pickleball.
Which he loves too. Listen.
It's crazy. The world
It's
has
all
gone
good.
crazy with that thing. Yes.
Yeah. England loves the pickleball.
Well, we did our thing. We have stood the test of time. We're still here to write about it, to sing about it, to laugh about it,
That's
to
it.
to learn from it, and to educate others too. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And we're coming up on September is Women's Cancer Awareness.
yes.
And
October
October
is breast cancer awareness.
So
So all of you ladies out there, you moms, young women, teenagers even, please, please, please take care of yourself. I always say that, women take care of their children. They take care of their husbands. They take care of their own parents. They take care of themselves last. And
So true.
you need to be around for all those other people that you love so dearly. So please, please, please take care of yourself. Get your screenings, get your testings, do your own exams at home. Do your mammograms, do whatever you have to do, please.
And
amen to that.
Yes.
yeah,
Thank
amen
you.
to that. And an organization that you love, Dancers Against Cancer.
Yes.
It's just
I'm very familiar with that organization, and I have
Yes.
some dear friends who have done benefits with them, beautiful ballet dancers.
Yes, so Dancers Against Cancer, their big event is coming up soon.
Oh.
And in LA, they do a big industry awards, and that night is when they give out some checks to some needy people. And it's also when I will have the opportunity to give back to Dancers Against Cancer.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. So, Rachel, first of all, I have to say, I'm sure the listeners can agree. It sounds like those songs are dances already.
Yes.
It sounds.
Yes,
like,
that's
Dancing
choreography.
internally.
Yes, it sounds like I could see Maddie or Kalani or any of the kids just doing those songs.
Or
that
maybe
you
a kid on
performed.
season 9.
Yes.
There you go.
That's
oh,
wishful
wouldn't that be
thinking.
wonderful?
Yes.
I have to ask for the fans. Can we get an oldie that was performed on the show?
You're making her work.
You
This is
are
like
making
a
me work.
gig
That's
I'm
tonight.
okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm actually recording a whole album tomorrow, straight
not.
to vinyl in
Really?
Brooklyn. It's an interesting thing where you record a live album, just like Elvis and Johnny Cash did back in the day. You can't redo it. They're burning it to vinyl in real time.
Wow.
So that's my day tomorrow. So,
So
this
let's
is great
save her voice.
practice.
Oh, I was
Great.
thinking
Oh,
save
well,
you.
that's up to
You need to
you.
get home and go to bed.
You can be my manager. You tell me what else.
We need 2 lines of
Two lines.
or a chorus of an oldie.
I was alone when you came along and rescued me, and we became one before we knew what was happening now. Everything we wanted is ours for the asking. Ceilings are ascending where they were collapsing. Oh, 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 happiness.
Everybody Everybody give it up.
I was nervous I'd forget those words. I haven't played that song in years.
I
Wow.
was afraid I was going to start singing it.
Oh, that would have been fun.
No,
You can sing with me
no,
anytime.
no. Okay.
So your new album, where can
Yes.
everybody get it? Where can everybody
the
access
other
it?
side.
Anywhere that you get music, it's on all the streaming platforms, Amazon, some stores, the handful that are left, and of course my website, rachelsage.com.
RachelSage.com. Go visit. And there's lots of writing there. There's
Yes.
lots of interesting notes there that if you are a young singer-songwriter out there, you definitely need to follow Rachel and where her journey has taken her. And maybe someday there'll be a collab. Who knows?
Oh, I would love that.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm very accessible.
Yes.
Seriously.
You live in Brooklyn.
No, I live on,
the
well,
Lower East
when I'm
Side.
in the city, I'm kind of on the cusp of the Lower East Side, the East Village. So
East
I'm
Village.
on the
Okay,
Bowery.
like
Do you know the Bowery?
Yes, of course. Yes.
So yes, where CBGB's used to be.
Okay,
I
and
live
then
right there.
And then you
I
also
spent
have
some
a place.
time in Hudson Valley, which is just beautiful. And I found that community during lockdown. One of my best friends moved up there, and I wanted to get out of the city. And I just couldn't leave. I love it. So many artists, specifically visual artists. So I live in an apartment building now with 8 single ladies who are all professional painters. So I'm taking lessons from these women. I'm learning how to oil paint. It's amazing. So
8 people live in one apartment?
well, in the building.
Oh, in the building.
It's
Oh,
like
okay, I didn't get
it's
that, in
like
the
an
building.
artsy commune, you know, like an
Okay, all
adult
right.
commune, and it's just happenstance because that community.
And
do
where
you know
is that?
Beacon, New York? It's about an hour and a half out of the city. So if you take like the Hudson line on the train,
Okay. No, but I know Beacon Hill from the way we were in Barbara Streisand.
right? It's similar but different.
Okay. Okay.
So we just have a listener question from
Yes.
an
Of
ALDC
course.
elite named Cooper Alassi. Thank you for your support.
Hi, Cooper.
Yes,
Hi, Cooper.
And if anybody wants to submit questions for our future guests or anything, again, it's all on Patreon and YouTube Premium. How did you feel to have your music used on Dance Moms and seeing the girls dancing to it? We kind of explained this before, but
We
maybe
did,
talk
but
about
in
it
a
little bit more.
nutshell, yeah. It was just an incredible honor. You know, I think anytime that something you create can take on an entirely new life because someone else is performing to it or using it in a way you didn't anticipate, there's no greater thrill.
All right. So now I have a question.
Yes.
How did your mom and dad and sister, right? Mm-hmm.
memory.
How did they feel about watching a TV show? I don't know if they watch. You made them watch,
Oh, yeah,
right?
I made
Yes.
them watch.
Okay. And how did they feel when their daughter, who was a prima ballerina, turned into this folksy singer, songwriter, independent artist? Oh my God, it's on TV. Your song, Rachel, that's our daughter, that's our voice. Yes.
Honestly, you helped me out a lot because, you know, all parents, all they ever
Yes.
want is to see some kind of, you know, fruition
Yes.
to their kids' hard work and persistence and
And all the lessons.
that's right. All the
Yes.
lessons. My mom schlepping me to ballet
Yes.
every day after school. So I think for her it was especially redemptive because it's real that way.
Yes,
It's validated.
tangible. Well, even though you don't
Yeah.
touch it, it's television.
Yeah.
But they can call the neighbors, and they can
That's
call
right.
the
Yeah.
ladies
You gave
that
them a
they
lot.
lunch.
Do you know the
Yes.
expression "kvel"?
Kvel, yes.
To brag. It's Yiddish for brag. So
Yes.
you gave my mom specifically a lot to kvel about. My dad is really laid back, and he's one of those parents he's happy if I'm doing it for an audience of 5 people or 5,000. And I think it's a great balance because my mom was not that way. She wanted the 5,000 every
Yes,
time.
yes.
She was a bit of a ballet mom.
Right.
So yeah, you got me a lot of good points, and my sister was super proud, and everybody was just really excited.
There you have it. Now, we've left it all on the dance floor.
Yeah, we
lots
have.
and lots of information for you all to take in. And I just want to give a great big shout out to your band members. Let's name them, please. 'Cause
Absolutely.
They're incredible.
Kelly Halloran plays violin with me. She is fabulous.
She was in that pub in
Ireland, yes. And she tours with me year round. I have a wonderful cellist named Ward Williams, and he'll be with me on tour in LA next week, actually, in
She's
LA and San Francisco.
Back in Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Yeah.
So if there's LA listeners out there, please do yourself a favor. Get up, go out, get out of your house, and go see Miss Rachael Sage.
Aw, I like when you call me Miss Rachel.
Miss
Sage.
Rachel. Although that other Miss Rachel's killing it.
The babies are, yeah.
I know, Miss Rachel. We have Miss Rachel right here. This is the original Miss Rachel.
The OG.
Yeah, that OG Miss Rachel. Stop listening to that other Miss Rachel and listen to this Miss Rachel. There you go.
You're so good
there
to me,
you go.
Abby.
There you go. There you have it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining my guest, Rachael Sage, and Michael, of course, Michael David.
Yay, Michael.
Woo!
Thank you.
And myself here on Leave It on the Dance Floor. Until the next podcast.
My world is with my girls.
ALDC Elites, thank you so very much for listening. Be sure to subscribe and give Leave It on the Dance Floor a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to watch each week and see exclusive behind-the-scenes content like my never seen before pictures and videos from the competitions, some even taken from the wings, classes at the ALDC studio in Pittsburgh, or even our iconic dance concerts, head over to Patreon or become a member on YouTube Premium, linked in the show notes each week. See you on the flip side.